There are markets that sell memories. And then there are markets that refuse to forget. One such market lies deep inside the tangled heart of Old Delhi, Kinari Bazaar, a place where brides still arrive in search of lace, silk, and dreams. But when the last lantern flickers and the shutters fall silent, 6 brides return to finish the shopping they never lived to complete. You're listening to Kahani Bar. I'm Malika, and tonight's story is The Brides of Kinari Bazaar by Neerja K. There are places in Old Delhi where joy and sorrow sit side by side. Kinari Bazaar is one of them. By day, it glitters like a dream. Rows of shops overflowing with gold lace, silver tassels, shimmering borders, sequins, threads, and ornaments meant for one purpose only: weddings. Brides come here with shining eyes and jingling bangles. Mothers argue over prices. Tailors hold up fabrics to the light. And laughter is everywhere. But after midnight, well, Kinari Bazaar belongs to someone else. Soft wind flows through narrow lanes, carrying the sweet, intoxicated fragrance of fresh henna that seems to be seeping out through the cracks in the thyme. Yes, that is when the brides return. More than a century ago, something happened that surely shouldn't have happened. It was the year of unrest, the year when Delhi trembled under the British rule. But inside Kinari Bazaar, on that particular afternoon, there was only joy. A group of 6 young girls, all friends, and not more than 17, had come together to buy their wedding fineries. All of them were to be married within the same week. It was kind of a friendship pact. They had grown up in the same lane, played in the same courtyards, shared secrets, dreams, and stolen sweets from the same kitchen shelves. They were partners in crime and favorites of every household in that lane. Now they were becoming brides. There was Zora, the quiet one, who blushed at the mention of her groom. Lajjo was loud and laughed at almost anything. She loved to tease the shopkeepers. She brought effervescence to the dullest event. There was Meher, who wanted everything in deep red. Gudiya, the youngest, whose hands were still sticky with fresh henna, was very fussy, but a hard bargainer. And 2 cousins, Chand and Noor, who refused to buy anything unless it matched perfectly. They moved from shop to shop like a trail of rose petals, their silks rustling and dupatta fluttering. They were chattering like a host of sparrows. "Too dull," Lajjo declared, tossing aside a lace border. "Too bright," Noor objected. "Too expensive," Meher sighed. The shopkeepers smiled. They had seen such scenes 1,000 times. Finally, at the corner shop, they found what they wanted: golden lace that shimmered like moonlight. Zora held it against her dupatta and smiled shyly. For a moment, the whole shop seemed to glow. At that exact moment, the soldiers entered the lane from both ends, hence making escape impossible. Outside, the city was restless. The British patrols had grown harsh. Every shadow looked like a threat. Screams and shouts echoed everywhere. People ran helter-skelter. Shopkeepers hid inside their shops, pulling down their shutters. Chaos prevailed everywhere. And then, sudden gunshots echoed. The bullets ricochet off the metal shutters. The sound tore through the bazaar. Glass bangles shattered. Silk fell to the floor. Screams filled the narrow lane. When the soldiers left and the smoke cleared, the shopkeepers dared to lift their shutters with caution and saw some bodies were strewn across the lane. And the young brides-to-be? Oh, they found them laying lifeless like rag dolls where they had been standing just moments before. Their hennaed hands still clutched lace and ribbons. The golden borders they had chosen were now soaked in red. No weddings took place that week, only funerals. For days, Kinari Bazaar stayed closed. When the shops reopened, no one spoke of the incident. But something had changed. The lane felt heavier. At night, watchmen began to hear things. Soft footsteps, the rustle of silk, the faint clinking of bangles, the jingle of an anklet. At first, they blamed the cats or the wind. But then came the laughter. Soft, distant giggles. Not loud, not joyful. Just a gentle, echoing sound. Like girls remembering a happy day. Decades went by, and it seemed the brides-to-be still meandered through the Kinari Bazaar after midnight. Many years later, an old caretaker named Bashir Chacha was locking up the last shop of the evening. It was a humid night. The power had gone out. The bazaar lay in thick darkness. Bashir Chacha sat on his stool, fanning himself lazily. He still carried a traditional lantern with him. He believed that it was most reliable, better than the modern flashlight. That was when he heard it. Soft anklet chime. He looked up. 6 girls were walking down the lane. They glowed faintly, as if lit by moonlight no one else could see. Their bridal clothes shimmered. Their bangles sparkled like broken stars. Bashir Chacha relaxed. Some wedding party, he thought. The girls stopped at the lace shop at the corner. The shutter lifted soundlessly, and the inside of the shop came alive. Zora picked up a golden border and held it against her dupatta, just as she had done years ago. Lajjo spun around, laughing softly. Guriya lifted her hands, admiring the henna on her palms. But something was wrong. Their laughter had no warmth. Their smiles did not reach their eyes. And then Bashir Chacha saw it. A dark stain was spreading across Zora's chest, as if the wound had just opened again. The bangles on her wrist were cracked. Tiny drops of blood glistened between the glass bangles. One by one, the girls turned toward him. For a moment, they looked like any group of brides. First they smiled. Then soft, chilling laughter of the girls echoed in the night. Bashir Chacha tried to shout, but his voice refused to come out. The girls gathered their ribbons and lace, just as brides do. And then they walked away. No, they floated away. Their silk sharara rustling and their misty dupatta of soft pastel colors with silver and gold trimmings flowing behind them like colorful clouds. Their feet made no sound. One by one, their forms faded into the darkness of the lane, until only the anklet chime remained. Anklet sound faded, and the shutter of the shop automatically fell shut, silently. Bashir Chacha never stayed in Kinari Bazaar after midnight again. Even today, old shopkeepers will tell you, sometimes, very late at night, the air grows heavy. A faint smell of henna drifts through the lane. And if you listen closely, you may hear soft laughter, or the rustle of silk, or the sound of bangles clinking gently in the dark, because some brides never reach their wedding day. And every night, they return to finish their shopping. This is Malika signing off. Keep listening to stories on Kahani Bar. If you enjoy our narrations, please follow, share, and leave a review. It helps us bring more stories to life. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep listening. Take care.